finally come.
Welcome to Valley+AID Live, a special live stream event benefiting Boys and Girls Clubs of the Valley, Child Crisis Arizona, Homeward Bound, and St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Valley+AID Live. I am your co-host, Letitia Frye, your auctiontainer, and it is awesome to be with you live streaming, even though we can't get together in person. And that's the point. This is live. I mean, no notes, no prompters, no rehearsals, so what you get is what you get. So we're so happy you're here with us. So let's talk first and foremost about what's going on and how you're viewing me right now. So if you're not already on the Fun Duel page and seeing the teams, and you happen to just be watching this live stream on YouTube or somewhere else, and you want to be a part of it, you want to go to www.valley8live.com, click that red button to join the group, and boom, you're in. Because the point of this is an interactive event. That's why I'm live streaming. It's not about talking to you, it's about talking with you. Now the next thing, if you're like me and thought that Internet Explorer was still pretty cool, apparently something that's 4 years old in technological terms is ancient. That's not going to work. So if you're on there right now, you will not be able to duel properly. See, there's that live TV. I need you to get on Firefox, Google Chrome, or Safari. That's going to give you your best user experience. Now, what else are you going to need for the duel? Well, according to my watch, it's about 5:15, 5:17 on a Thursday night. So that might mean that you want to have a snack handy. You might want your favorite Tito's handmade cocktail handy, or bubbling water, decaf, whatever makes you happy. Most importantly, you want to have your credit card out because you don't want to be shuffling through your wallet looking for that while we're actually doing the duel. And secondly, if you're my age group or over, you're probably going to want your readers as well. And then of course, you're actually going to want the one thing none of us go anywhere without, your cell phone, because there's so many interactive ways for you to use that cell phone and selfie it and put it on social media. And I'm going to explain a lot more of that as we go through this. Now, if you're already thinking, oh boy, Letitia, I might have some trouble during this, here's the deal. Here's the number that you call if you're having trouble. 602-448-5959. Again, 602-448-5959, and ask for help. Or if you're already on a computer and you want to go to info@frontdoorsmedia.com, and they can help you right there with a Q&A. So now that you know all the ways to actually get through that, again, the purpose of a live stream, and first of all, I want to point out, as I'm going to teach you how to duel moving forward, you're going to see that we have teams. You're going to recognize our 4 incredible Valley charities that are highlighted there, but this is not a competition where one makes more than the other. This is about all 4 charities coming together in a collaborative effort in response to COVID-19 that actually allows them and you to share the profits equally. Now, Valley+AID Live is something that will move forward with other charities coming in collaboration. This is the first of its kind. It also was put together in 3 weeks. So, again, if you're on Internet Explorer, get off. You want to be on Google Chrome, Firefox, or again, on Safari. You're going to need that phone. Get yourself a cocktail, get yourself a snack, grab that credit card, grab those readers. And of course, don't leave the stream, because even as you scroll down the screen, I move with you, because the point is to be interactive. And I'm going to see your name, I can call out what you gave, I can see your picture and actually do that too. And in fact, I'm going to show you my picture that I did in studio. And that's another thing. We're here inside the Inspired Media 360 studios in a safe social distancing environment in an incredible atmosphere with Carrie Pena and her crew at the helm. So you're going to have an amazing show. We have interviews to show you. We have incredible montages. And the music that you heard on the way in that will be put throughout, that's Brian Chartrand. He's a local musician that should be on tour in Europe right now, but he's here and he's given all the music to Valley+AID Live so we can continue to brand that moving forward. So I hope that everybody here is starting to get ready, because this is the top of the show. I hope that you understand exactly the best way to experience this, because as we're moving forward, I want you to know, don't leave this screen. We're going to donate, we're going to duel, I'm going to explain it, we're going to talk about all 4 charities, and I have some mind-blowing statistics from spending a day with them last Tuesday. So ladies and gentlemen, at this point now, I hope that you're getting settled in. I mean, I'm actually giving you time to get settled in. So once you're getting settled in, and I want to say a special thank you again, there's so many sponsors that Andrea is about to thank, and a lot of our friends are out there, so I'm just going to like quietly mention, maybe get that Tito's handmade vodka cocktail made. Just a shout out there to one of my good friends and generous supporters. So you're going to hear about some really innovative ways at the end of this that Tito's is continuing to support all of our nonprofits. So that's the beginning of the top of the show. I hope you're excited. I hope you're on the right streaming. I hope you're on the Fun Duel. Remember, www.valley8live.com is where we want you to be. We want you to interact. We don't want you to just donate, and we want you to be a part of it. So now, it's time for me to turn back to my co-host and dear friend and the founder of Valley+AID Live, Andrea Tyler Evans.
Good evening. I'm Andrea Tyler Evans, publisher of Frontdoors Media. Thank you for tuning in to the very first Valley+AID live stream event. Tonight, we're here to open your eyes, ears, and hearts to 4 Valley nonprofits that are answering urgent needs for thousands of families and children. Food, shelter, critical services. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues into the heat of our Arizona summer, the need for the most basic items to survive increases for these families each day. Thank you to our team sponsors that are joining us tonight. BHHS Legacy Foundation, BOK Financial, Cox Communications, Domino's Pizza, Frye's Food Stores, and Tito's Handmade Vodka. We couldn't have done this without you. Now let's check back in with Letitia to learn more about the incredible technology we're using for tonight's call to action.
Thanks, Andrea, so much. And a huge thank you to the sponsors as well. You know, again, we put this together in 3 weeks, and the response from all of you has been absolutely unbelievable, which I want to point out that every single one of these charities was able to become involved at absolutely no cost to them, thanks to the generosity of underwriters and sponsors like you. So every dime that's raised here, and not only on this live stream, but we'll continue with this actual video when it's done on the website, valley8live.com, where you can continue giving all the way through midnight this Sunday, and we'll talk more about that. But let's address the Fun Duel. Now, I actually had the pleasure of doing the first ever live Fun Duel live streaming in the world on April 23rd. And if you think that was a little stressful in the midst of COVID, it was. So this is our second time, and now we're a little bit more savvy at what we're doing, and I'm super proud of Andrea and the entire team for creating this venue to help these nonprofits. So I'm here to tell you how to duel. So here's the idea behind this. Dr. Linda and Dana Hansen developed this, and it came out last November, which is why your Internet Explorer doesn't work, because this is new technology. The idea behind this is to duel. There are 3 ways to duel. So if you go and look at the bottom of the screen underneath me, you're going to see the simplest way to duel, which is a red button. It says donate now. It doesn't get any easier than that. You simply click on that button and you donate. That's it. But we don't want you to just do that. But if you were at the office, or you have to go somewhere, or you're going to watch this later in recording, by all means, go ahead. But if you look underneath that button, you're going to see 3 icons. The first one is copy link, because after you do it, you can copy the link, you can actually email it to a ton of friends right now, or you can actually copy the link and text it out to a ton of friends, and it will send the donate now button to them in that link. Pretty awesome, right? So what's the other way? That same underneath there, the next icon's over, well, that's Facebook and Twitter. I don't think they need much explanation, but here's the point. It's so easy. You actually just click on Facebook or Twitter, and that donate now button goes straight out to your friends. Tag a bunch of your friends, let them know what you're up to, share what you're feeling. This is the point, it's interactive. Now here's the best part. When you do all that, I can actually see you. I can thank you by name. For example, we have a whole family here, so whenever I call out to my daughter Hunter, she's going to show me the people that are actually donating. So I'm looking over right now. Art Calderon has donated. Already got Lauren Cassidy has donated. Holly Hansen has donated. Heather Allen has donated. And Susan Gifford, thank you. See what I mean? You actually click those buttons, I see you, and I interact with you. But it gets better. And this is what we did earlier. And so do my kids, because they're here working with me as well. You're going to hear me sometimes call out to Duke, and you're going to hear me call out to Tom Evans as well, because they have different jobs. We made this a family affair in a safe environment to make sure these nonprofits have you to help them on the front lines. So let's talk about the next button. If you look over to the left of where I'm talking, once you're down in that area, you see the blue button, Join the Fun Duel Challenge. This is my favorite button ever. And you'll see me. Now, personally, tonight I'm on Team AID. Again, it does not matter which team you pick. All of these charities split the proceeds perfectly the same, but it is kind of fun to win. Perfectly right now, because if you look at Tom's screen, you're going to see that my team, Team AID, I believe is, Team Family just took the lead. So if we look over at Tom's screen and we look at Team Family, they're already at 1,830. And just so you know, we're about 8 minutes into the show and we're at $5,400 raised so far. So let's get back to that blue button. When you click on it, it lets you either take a photo now, like I did with my dog, who's here in studio. Like I said, it's a family affair, and actually post it. Now, hit post here where I can see it and call you out. The next step is to donate, where I then see your name, the title of your picture, and the dollar amount you gave. And then the next step, it offers you to share it out on social media. So it's out on Facebook for me right now. Those are the ways that you duel. Again, I'm going to break it down. One red button at the bottom of the page, donate now. One and done, over. The next step, get a little more involved. Copy link. Send it out, text it out, email it out, get other people to do the same. Or Twitter, Facebook. Click that, the Donate Now button goes straight to those social media platforms, and people are able to participate in this. Or the best part, the blue button on the left, join the Fun Duel Challenge. Upload a picture. Hey, look, I took one here with no makeup on earlier. Personally, I'd probably use the one that's on my Instagram, you know, the one you doctor up. Send us a picture. I will see your face. Okay, I'm going to go over to Duke and check in with some of them now. Here's Andreas. Nice picture, Andreas. Andreas Viker gave $10. And let's see, Duke, come back to that little girl. I want to see that little girl again. She's got a heart. Okay, that is the Director of Impact, Alyssa Robertson. That's the Homeward Bound team right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that little girl is so cute. $25 right there. Thank you, Alyssa. Let's go down a little bit more. Who's this? Who's that beauty right above there? I know her. That is the Homeward Bound director, Jordan Moreno, who spent last Tuesday with me on the front lines. And I think I recognize a woman right above her as well. That is the leader and my dear longtime friend, President and CEO of Homeward Bound, Becky Jackson, who just gave $100. Nice floral dress, and I like the haircut, Becky. So, as you can see, it's interactive. So remember, the blue button's the most fun. That's where I get to have the best time with you, and we'll check in on different teams. Courtney Bennett, I know you're out there, and Team Tito's is here. She does awesome pictures. I can call you out by name. This is so much fun. All of you that know me from the stage always hear me say, what's the first word in fundraising? It's fun. Well, what's the first word in Fun Duel? It's fun. This is an innovative new platform that's far more about me just sitting here talking at you. It's about me looking at you. It's about me sharing with you. It's about us interacting with one another. And again, if you're having any problems with this, 602-448-5959. 602-448-5959. And again, if that's not working and you want to do email, info@frontdoorsmedia.com, and they can answer your questions as well. And you know, just so you know too, honestly, you can put videos up as well. I mean, we can watch those. It can get as fun as you want to. So remember, simple donate now. The next is to share online, and the third is to actually get interactive with photos that I would love to call you out. My last Fun Duel, one of the doctors that we were actually supporting actually showed a picture of himself with his dog on the couch. That's the beauty of this. Look, I'm dressed up, I'm in studio, it's Thursday night. You don't have to be, and you can still participate. So let's check in with Tom. Tom, let's take a look right here. We're at $6,135 in about 11 minutes or less. So now that we've checked in and you know how to duel, it is now a time to check back in with our fearless leader and founder of Valley+AID Live, Andrea Tyler Evans, as she interviews earlier today with the 4 women behind leading this frontline effort for the charities that you're here to support now.
Thank you, Letitia. I had the distinct pleasure of sitting down with the 4 dynamic leaders of these organizations. And what I found out was the need is great during this crisis. Diapers, services for frontline workers in the healthcare industry, technology for the kids and the parents. These are the stories of Valley+AID Live.
Well, once the pandemic hit, we focused our operations to serve children and families of healthcare and all essential workers. So as you can imagine, they have been on the front line, and the one thing they could not afford to worry about is who was going to take care of their children when they were out taking care of everybody else in the community. So we immediately shifted our operations and began to provide childcare as well as meals as other supportive services for the families in our community.
So right now, what is the biggest need?
So I would say the biggest need are resources to continue our operations at the level we're currently required to provide. So that means lower ratios with our children, extra janitorial services, cleaning supplies, PPE equipment, and also the meals. You know, we are normally an out-of-school provider, so we are there after school, but beginning March 16th, we have been there extended hours, sometimes 7 in the morning, 7, 8 in the morning, till 6, 7 o'clock at night, providing this type of care. So there is a big cost to that care.
The families that we're serving are worried. They are hungry. They are so appreciative of the food that we are distributing every single day at curbside. They are worried about where their next meal is coming. They are wanting to get back to work. That's how it's affecting the children and families.
What is your team looking at that's going to be the next steps of this for support?
So we're going to continue the food distribution, and we are going to continue to make sure that we have activities for the children and giving these parents ideas. We're sending home Ziplocs of Play-Doh and slime and fun things that they can do at home, bubbles, just making sure that there are so many positive things that they can all do as a family. And then, of course, be educated. So it's the workbooks again, it's the coloring, it's the reading, it's books in Spanish and English. Anything that we can provide for these families, we are trying to.
This pandemic is not going away, so we're looking at July, August, September. Right. And what are your families, what are you predicting they're going to need in those future months?
Right now, they don't have support systems in their own families. They don't have other family members that can help them. So the support that they need is from us. What we need is the assistance from the community through this wonderful program to be able to continue to provide those services with the staff that we have. They need resume writing. They need us to stay on target. They need us to keep them on task. They're very disillusioned right now. Our case managers work hard to keep them on task. They're looking for a job. They might have to go for another interview. Schools are not in session. We're providing that after school services. I mean, those are the type of things over the next couple of months they're going to have to sustain, and we're going to have to be able to provide for them to create the best future that they can.
Well, our state did a really great thing, which is to put in place an eviction moratorium. So for the most part, not that families aren't being evicted during this time, but for the most part, those have been stalled until July 23rd. But what we're anticipating is that those families who've been able to pay at least a little bit toward their rent in April, May, June, July, some haven't been able to pay at all. And so as that lifts, those rents still have to be paid. People still owe those. There are landlords and there are banks. That somebody has to pay that. And that's really how our community can come together and help families who are struggling. Many of us have been safe in our homes. We've had jobs that have been continued, and we've been able to maintain that revenue stream, whatever it is for us. But there are a lot of families right now where that's not the case, and they're getting increasingly stressed, wondering what's going to happen at the end of July and August and September. This is a time of year where families in our community always struggle, and this summer is going to be one of the hardest that we've faced, and that's why community support at this time is so important.
And that's the stories from Valley+AID Live tonight, and where every dollar is going to these amazing 4 organizations.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you to each of the ladies that actually interviewed, and thank you for what you're doing. I actually spent all of last Tuesday with all 4 of them on the front lines, and I have to tell you, by the end of the day, I was in tears. And I'm going to spend this next portion trying to explain to you not only what I saw, but what's coming, and Shannon beautifully teed this up for us. So let's talk about the fact that I know that a lot of you realize how hard the pandemic has hit us. Look, I think everybody's been hit financially, mentally, certainly physically. This has been a lot, but let's talk about what's coming. See, Shannon teed something up that's beautiful, and here in Arizona, I can pretty much tell you the date you need to circle on your calendar. It's Monday, July 27th. Here's why. So the first thing we want to talk about is the rent that actually Shannon just mentioned. This was actually, if you just actually go back to the beginning, look, on March 11th on Wednesday, we were declared a state of emergency, and by Friday the 13th, every school, all these nonprofits, everything just stopped, okay? So then you got into the fact that we put in a government writ that allowed you for no evictions, okay, at that time, but that wasn't a forgiveness, it was a delay. When is the delay up? Wednesday, July 22nd. Yeah, that rent is due. Here's the second part. You actually had additional CARES Act. Now that was actually passed, and here's the problem with that. That was actually passed for people that couldn't be eligible for basically unemployment benefits while this is going on. But see, it's not going to continue. It's actually stopping on Saturday, July 25th. And those taxes that were due on April 15th, they're due on July 15th. So these people that are bridging and barely holding on, the water's about to break. And it's not going to trickle in, it's going to be a flood. And it's coming straight at the 4 nonprofits and many others here in the Valley. We are not even seeing the tip of the iceberg for what's coming our way. And that's what I actually got into. And I want to tell you what I saw and what I learned. And it's going to be very hard for me to get through this without crying. I'm going to be totally honest. It's really hard to talk about what I saw and what is actually coming up, but we're just going to do it. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite people because I've known Marcia Mintz for years. And I think it's extraordinary that she's leading the way for Boys and Girls Club of the Valley. And just so you know, whether you knew or not, Boys and Girls Club of Metropolitan Phoenix actually merged with Boys and Girls Club of the East Valley. That meant 27 clubs servicing 6,000 kids in the most needed areas, 53% of which fall at or below the poverty line. Okay, here's the deal. They never closed. They actually went and worked with the governor and with the government to stay open safely. But here's what that meant to them. So their staff of 300 plus, okay, actually had a choice. You can actually leave without loss of work, we would understand, and come back, or stay and pivot through what is now going to be full-time, not before school and after school. And this is not a child care program. This is leadership, health. This is actually mental stability. This is economic. This is also college and job readiness. These are programs I know because I'm a club mom. That's how I started my business as a single mom when my kids were little. It works. But here's the thing. So they took the 27 clubs and they put them into 10, but they put them in the most critical area. Why? Marcia has an extensive background in the healthcare industry, and she knows full well what happens when the infrastructure and basically the entire economy and everything we're relying on were to fall apart. What that means is the people they decided to serve were the people that were at your grocery store working, the people that were in the hospitals working, the people that were your first responders. In fact, Banner Health, kudos to them. They paid the club fees for every single one of their employees that needed to show up and work so the kids could continue to go. Look, a large majority of these are single moms like myself. What are they supposed to do? And what about these children? I'll tell you something, last year in 2019, and again, I don't know notes, this just came because they educated me. Marcia and her whole crew met me. We saved social distance, and I went through the Parsons branch. And kudos to Bob and Renee Parsons Foundation for building in the middle of the Ball School District one of the most incredible branches I've been to around the country. But here's the thing. They gave out 816,629 meals in 2019. Snacks and meals. Snacks and meals. It's 3 meals a day. It's all day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., just like you heard Marcia say. You got a staff of 300 that are rotating in and out. They themselves are hit by this crisis. They're under the mental anguish. This is exhausting, and they're on the front lines. Marcia, the crew that are in the executive crew, well, they got out of the office. They have masks, they have gloves, they're giving food. When you have a Zoom going on and the teacher's going in, well, you still need someone there to help them through it. We're talking about little kids. And let's get into the teens in this particular demographic. Almost half or more of the teens, by the age of 15, in their sophomore year, 15 to 16, they get a job, not for extra money, to become actually a provider to the family. And if you're like me and walked out of any one of our grocery stores, who do you see wiping down the carts? Teens. They're taking the jobs nobody wants, and now they're actually responsible for caring for their family. What's happening to them with mental anguish in that? Where are they going? So here's the thing, Marcia actually lets teens in for free. So let's keep going. Let's go to Homeward Bound. Now that we're at Homeward Bound, Becky Jackson and I have been friends for a long time, and what I saw was unbelievable. Here's the financial hit they took. You have 179 adults, 500 people in total with kids that are living in assisted living there. It's not about a hand out, it's about a hand up, okay? So they're responsible for 30% of their income paying rent. They're actually being taught employment, they're being taught, and childcare. In fact, their childcare facility is open to the public. $200 a child, 50 children. Closed for 1 month, $40,000 loss. Let's try 3 months, 120. Let's go into the fact that during the month of April, to be kind to those people there, they actually quit rent. $125,000 loss. Now let's get into the fact that they didn't have their spring fundraiser, $329,000 loss, or close to $300,000. Keep them going because we're heading towards $1 million. In-kind donations, the pantry that was there for emergency, full-time pantry, $20,000 to stock. No in-kind donations until right now because of partners like Amazon and Target that set forward an answered wish list. Otherwise, no. But they don't turn anyone away, and they're at full capacity. And just so you know, all those people that are back on their feet, 52% of them fell back into unemployment. They have one full-time, one part-time person in charge of job readiness. These people are on the front lines. So here's the deal. They're at full capacity. They can't actually build another building, so they're going to take these programs out into the public. But here's the thing I found at both the Boys and Girls as well as this particular group. One club in the Boys and Girls Clubs has 11% of their actual kids have internet. These people that are actually trying to get these programs, no internet. And let's keep going. All right, so that's Homeward Bound, that is actually out there, not only taking care of who they're taking care of, but about to welcome those in. And they need internet to get those programs out. So who was my next stop? Child Crisis Arizona. Whew, this is a lot. Child Crisis Arizona not only serves 257 children every day in a Head Start and youth program, because in order to tackle poverty, it's about intervention, well, prevention, intervention, and aftercare. So the Head Start education, they also have 300 different programs servicing 6,000 families throughout the Valley to help them to not only be better through domestic violence, better parenting, and better finances, but they also have 2 different homes for children that are 0 through 10, birth through 10, 1 teen boys home for 10 to 15. What happened in this? Those kids thought maybe they'd get adopted. Sorry. When you're a teen, you're going to age out. Those boys' worlds are crushed, but they put a sport coat in for them. Sport coat. I can't even speak. I'm sorry. I'm going to get choked up because it's real and it's live. The other thing is this. They were smart enough to understand the onslaught. They service 400 families that are in the foster care system, okay? I know those families are trying, but how did you feel at home lately? I mean, I've snapped at my kids. Did anybody overdrink, overeat? Has it been stressful? Now imagine the fact that Tori and her team with 250 employees did not lay off one person. They pivoted into something they're not supposed to be doing because that's not what they do. They're not a food service. They partnered with Domino's on a Thursday night meal. They hand out 500 to 600 meals. They can, with $100, feed a family, 10 of them, a family of 4. That pizza continues to give. That's one of the pivots. They took books. They started reading again. Do you have internet to watch Facebook Live for them to read to you in English and Spanish? Handout. But here's what they also did. I went to their beautiful playground. It's empty. They can't check in on the foster families. And Tori told me, normally I get reports from doctors, teachers. Maybe this kid came in dirty. Maybe it looks like they're not brushing their teeth. Maybe there's something they need to eat more. 1 complaint in 3+ months. 1. A mom driving while videoing herself on a phone. That's it. What do you think is happening? Think you're stressed? They're stressed. And it's all going to fall back on them because they're also in charge of the mental health of our youth. It's astronomical. So you know what they did? For those of you that understand here in the Valley that when Tumbleweed got through trouble, UMOM absorbed the people, but the building is empty. Well, it's right next door to Child Crisis Arizona. So they bought it. And they had a very open, believe me, Jody took me, Jody's been there for 40 years, okay? And her and I basically had the time to discuss it. They took that building. I said, what'd you retrofit it for? And they said, anything we need. It could become a shelter. It could become programming. That's what's happening there. And let's get back to my final visit with Shannon. This one's probably the hardest. St. Vincent de Paul, my children and I have actually volunteered there before. And you know, you think of them as a food shelter, and that is what they are. But they're actually feed, clothe, house, and heal. Last year, they had 10,000 families that they prevented from falling into the system of being homeless. But let's talk about what Shannon and I discussed, because she's all like I am about that date. Circle that date, Monday, July 27th. These people are in trouble. They've been pivoting into the space where they're actually bringing drive-up through meals, but they also pay APS bills. What happens in the summer? Your AC bill go up? Yeah, it goes up. And finally, the thing is 2,500 water bottles a day for people in the heat. There's no libraries open to take them anywhere. There's actually got to be 5,000 bottles of water. And when I went into the food storage that's normally stocked full getting ready for the summer, it was at probably less than a third because there were no spring food drives. So that's the facts. That's the truth. And now you know why we're dueling. So now that you've actually heard what we're doing, I now want to turn to Brian Chartrand, who's an incredible musician that gave us all of the music here today, to show you the faces of why we're here. Take a look.
1, 2, 3.
finally come. Here in the morning sun, here in the morning sun, brand new days finally come. It's finally come.
Thank you, Brian, for lending us that music. It really is a touching scene. So now you've seen their faces. It's time to see yours. So I'm going to check in with Tom, and we're going to take a look over here at the leaderboard and see who is in the lead. What? Is it my team? It is. Team 8 is in the lead at $6,555, and we've just hit $17,440 in about 30 minutes. And we're going to keep climbing. But here's the part of it being interactive. I'm actually going to look over to Hunter, and I want to thank some of you. So let's take a look at the Encanto Music Festival. Thank you for a $100 donation. Michelle, is it Setchner? Michelle, $100. Thank you so much. Tracy Lane at $50. Chelsea Sibbles, look, it's live TV. I'm going to do the best I can. Try spelling Letitia. Hey, thank you for $50. Brenda Blunt is in at $250. My gal, Courtney Bennett, $100, ladies and gentlemen. Barbara Polston, and hey, Laura Palmer Noon is in at $500. And Barbara, thank you for that, $50. Hey, Marcia Scott, one of my favorite CEOs and leaders, $25. Thank you, Marcia, for that, and I hope you're enjoying all of this. Julius Drellick, $500. Julia Patrick, also in at $100. So now, oh, Glynis Bryan, $1,000. Glynis, thank you so much. Keep them coming. I now want to check in with Duke. We're going to pick a team. What are we going to pick? Let's pick Team Comfort. Let's go see what's going on Team Comfort, all right? Team Comfort's with Domino's. Hey, there's my daughter. That's a picture of my daughter saying having fun in a COVID-friendly environment, and she gave $50 of her own money. Way to go, kid. Duke, how about we check in on Tito's? Let's see what's going on over there with Team Cheers. Let's take a look and see what pictures are coming up. Hey, there's Courtney. I was actually at that event for Roaring 20s. And remember those days? We thought it'd be the Roaring 20s. I think they are. $100 from her. There's Nick and the crew with another picture from Courtney and Team Tito's giving $100. And of course, a gift from grandson Leslie Phillips with her drink right in front of her at $45. Let's take a look over at Tom and see how we're doing. Look, this is interactive. I'm calling you out. You're giving bids. I've helped you understand what's happening, what's coming, how hard they're working. We're climbing closer to 20,000. And remember, this is just what's happening right now. This is going to stay open all the way through Sunday night. It's Father's Day on Sunday. What a great way to give Dad something is to donate in his honor. This will stay up until midnight. This live stream is about competing and interacting. Keep giving. 17,700. Hunter, let's thank a few of these people right now and see who's given. And actually these teams, oh, Team 8 is still in the lead, but Team Family right there, Child Crisis, is right behind him. Regina Bidstrup, $500. Thank you so much. Nancy Grace, $100. And Douglas Deal at $100. See, this is all about being interactive. Deborah Bateman, one of my favorite people out there. Her and her husband are probably the greatest love story ever known. $100 from her. Carolee Rameling, thank you for $500. You are a total rock star. Let's check in with some teams, Duke. Let's take a look at let's go to Legacy. Let's see what's happening. Or even Valley+AID. Let's go to Team 8. Let's go to Team 8. How about that? Head over to Team 8 and let's take a look at there. I know my goofy picture's up there because I did it earlier. There I am with my dog. Yes, I have an emotional support dog named Fozzie Bear. I rescued him and he's here with us. It's $100. Encanto Music Festival, great logo. Keep going. There's my son Duke. He gave $50, and that's our one-eyed pug. Yep. Oh, hey, there's New Year's Eve. We love Tish. I love you too. Courtney Bennett, $50. That's Nick too. 1 in 10's in the house and Tito's. And of course, look at that. Andrea and Jill forming their heart from right here in the studio. Safe social distancing, $45. An untitled photo by Laura Byrne at $10. There's a lot of youth out there that are jumping in this. And I have to tell you the thing about Frontdoors. It's taking boomers with Gen Z and millennials and pushing us all together into this new technology in a really fun fashion. We're at $17,785 and continuing to climb. I want you to remember a few more people. Kay McDonald is in at $100. We're going to keep thanking. Jackie Granger, I know you, $100, and Dion Lewis, another $100. Keep them coming in, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, this is the live segment, and we're almost time. I mean, you've ever been to a nonprofit fundraiser that like this? And hopefully you learned something. I'm sorry I get emotional, but I spent my time on the front lines with this. And remember, there's more coming. They need you. This is going to go on all week long, all the way through Father's Day. So now I want to take a look at this leaderboard. Let's take a look. 18,035, and Team AID is still in the lead. Get out there, donate. Remember the Donate Now button. Remember the Join the Challenge button. Share it on social media and keep supporting the first Valley+AID Live. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at that actual screen of the leaderboard while I actually begin to move over to meet my friend Andrea Tyler Evans. Because here's the thing. As I said, this Sunday is Father's Day. How do I know? I'm a single mom. I actually get to celebrate both. And so what I would like is what my children just did now. They donated here to Valley+AID Live to the 4 charities that we're here to support. That's what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. So now, as you're looking at that leaderboard, we're going to cut over to Andrea and I as we begin to wrap up, which might have been the fastest hour and 15 minutes of my entire life, and as we continue to pivot. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is at this time that I welcome my dear friend, the founder of Frontdoors, well, also you actually took over Frontdoors Media, but the founder of Valley+AID Live, and actually one of my dear friends, Andrea Tyler Evans.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you, and thanks for joining Valley+AID Live, our first ever one of these. And oh my gosh, we're so close to our next threshold, so keep the donations coming. You know, I have something to let everybody know. Everyone who gives a donation is automatically entered into our awesome raffle. We have some great raffle partners that came forward, including Backyard Taco out in the East Valley, of course Domino's Pizza, one of our sponsors tonight, as well as Ling and Louie's in Scottsdale, and of course our friends at Tito's Handmade Vodka. We're gonna put everybody in a big hat next week and pull those winners, and a lot of fun stuff, right?
Yeah,
all these
I keep
folks
looking at the screen behind us. Did we have an anonymous gift on our team? Did we?
Yes.
$5,000?
$5,000.
We did. We got an anonymous gift on Team AID, so thank you so much for that. That's pretty awesome stuff, and we want to keep going on this. Again, I want to point out that pivoting into these spaces, and I'm going to give Andrea a little love right now, and she deserves it, because she did this in 3 weeks and stood behind the charities. And again, this is just the live portion. This will be recorded. It's going to be on Valley+AIDlive.com. You can watch it later. You can share it with friends. But most importantly, you can keep dueling, and we want you to keep doing that all the way through this Sunday, June 21st, Father's Day at midnight, for you to continue to get higher and higher. And all of these proceeds will be split between all 4 of our charities. I'm also going to point something out, because I know Andrea is not going to do it. I want to let you know that although Andrea hasn't been very public about this, all while doing this, she has been battling another round of cancer. Tomorrow happens to be her last chemotherapy or radiation?
Chemotherapy.
Tomorrow is her last chemotherapy session, which I have to be honest with you, we've all been very emotional around here as Andrea and Tom and her entire family journey through this, that they would actually put the people on the front line in the midst of all of their personal fight, really, because she knows how to fight. So I hope that if you're at home and maybe you have a cocktail or a water, you give a toast to Andrea, because she sure could use it, and she's doing fantastic, and I'm very proud to call you my friend. One of the things on the front lines I've learned, and I saw it in Marcia, I saw it in Becky, I saw it in Tori, and I saw it in Shannon. I saw women that refused to give up. They were servicing not only the people that they are servicing, they were preparing for those that will come, and they were taking care of their crew and employees all the while. Many of them actually took pay cuts, just so you know, as well. Their doors are open, and they're pivoting into the spaces they need to space. So with that being said, I think it's time at this point that we go to a very special montage. And again, Brian, I hope you're watching this, because Brian Chartrand is local. He actually is on Facebook Live at 5 o'clock on Fridays. He should be in Germany or in tour in Europe, and he's home. And he's been amazing to lend his voice into these incredible images. So we're going to leave you out with montages from each of our 4 charities. My name is Letitia Frye, my co-host, Andrea Tyler Evans, and most importantly, looking behind me, just shy of 20,000 and still heading up, hoping to hit about 250,000. We'll see how that goes, and we'll let you know next week, as well as our raffle winners. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure now that we turn to the sounds of Brian with the images of the people you're helping.
I can sing, I can dance. Ain't gonna find a better chance. You are young, you are old. never mattered what you've been told. Another night in the city. Just another night tonight.
My name is Tori Taj, and I'm the CEO at Child Crisis Arizona. We are a nonprofit that has been in the Valley here for 43 years, and we have served children in the child welfare system, and our mission is to prevent child abuse and neglect. Our vision is safe kids and strong families, and we are supporting families in many ways. Another night in the city. How can I tell you I love you? Can I tell you I love you? 'Cause I love you. Please come
finally called.